Hey guys, what's up? James Harkins here. I recently got back from a Tony Robbins event in Dallas called Unleash the Power Within. And during the event, he announced a new book coming out, Money Master the Game. Picked up a copy while I was there. And I started reading through it. I made it a commitment to sort of master my finances. And this was the kind of first step in that process. And I've been reading through. I'm about 2 chapters in. And so far, I love it. Fantastic book. Great read. And I realized that I wanted to get this information out there to more people who maybe either don't have the book yet or maybe wouldn't be willing to put in the time to read the book. And so I wanted to kind of do little summaries of each chapter as I go along through. First off, just a quick note about the book. What it is, Tony Robbins went around and he interviewed the top 50 financial people in the world. These are like the Warren Buffetts, Ray Dalios. These are the guys that are, the multi-billion-dollar hedge funds, people that are investing for countries, this kind of thing. And he just went to those people and he interviewed them. And for each one, he would ask them, if you could leave no money for your kids and only a set of financial principles, what would you leave them? And so this book is the culmination of all those interviews, and he breaks it down. There's 7 chapters. Each chapter addresses one part of mastering your finances. And so what I want to do is make 7 videos, each one relating to a chapter. So starting out first, chapter 1, which is Welcome to the Jungle. The journey begins with this first step. So it talks about the most important financial decision of your life, which basically, spoiler alert, is just to get started, is to actually do it. And so what that entails is deciding how much of your money you're going to put aside every month. So you have to become an owner in the economy, not just a consumer in the economy. And what that means is you have to become an investor, and you have to have something to invest. So to get started, you have to put aside a bit of money at every paycheck. And the secret to it is that you're putting money aside before you see it. So if you're making whatever, $1,000 a week, you put aside that 5%, 10%, whatever you decide, put it aside before you even see it. So ask your employer or however you do it, and you can redirect those funds into a separate account so that when you see the money, you just see the 9,500 or the 950 or the 900, whatever that is, so that you don't feel like you're losing out on that. And then that will kind of grow in the background until you have a sizable amount to then invest and eventually retire off of. And I just want to go quickly over the main goal that you want to think about when you're creating these investments and saving all this money is you want to build up, a lot of people call it your nest egg, some people will call it your golden goose. You want to build up these assets to a point where they are actually pulling in enough income every month to cover your expenses. And at that point, you no longer have to work for money. Your money is creating money for you, and you can retire if you want. Most people find that they retire into nothing. They just get bored. So you'll end up working only if you want to. And most people, they want to be doing something. And so you'll find that you will actually be free to choose exactly what it is that you want to do for work, for your life, for your fulfillment. So that's kind of the overview of the first chapter, is just kind of explaining the goal, which is financial freedom, and the way you get that is by building up the nest egg until it creates the eggs for you, enough eggs to cover your monthly expenses, and you never, so to speak, you never kill that golden goose that's always going to be sitting there. And the other things, another decision you have to make is you got to decide that you are going to master your finances, or you're going to be the commander of your finances. Too many people, they make some money and then they trust someone else to invest it. And what you've got to understand is nobody's going to care about your money more than you. You worked hard for it, so you've got to understand where you're putting it into. You can put it into mutual funds or index, whatever you decide. You have to understand it. Don't trust somebody else, because if they mess up, the only lesson you learn is that you shouldn't have trusted someone else. If you mess up, then you learn a lesson to at least change it in the future. But you've got to understand it, and you've got to start with the mindset going forward that you are going to be the master of your finances. And I just want to add one last thing is obviously this is a super brief summary of the first chapter, and there's tons of more great information in here. I recommend that you do pick up the book if you can. But hopefully this is something to just get you started thinking about it. Feel free to, send me questions or start talking about it with your friends or family or whatever it is. But this is kind of the trigger to get you to focus on your finances and start thinking about it for your future. Thanks, guys.